blessings, deep blessings. I'm so excited today because I have pages of information and juicy, heartfelt excitement to share with you all around, drumroll, the big 2018. So there's no better time to actually record this than on the 1st of December at 11 a.m. All the ones, all the time. And to really tap in, there's been a real beautiful flowing energy today. So I just synchronistically, put all this together and which I've been doing for ages, but really collaborated everything together and to bring this beautiful overview to you all for everyone who's watching. And I'm really excited about next year, and ultimately just a little around 2017 before we start. 2017 universally it still is, and was, if you're watching this in the new year, because we're time traveling here, was a 1 year. It was a 10 year, so the 2 plus 0 plus 1 plus 7 was 10, yeah? So it was a 10 year. So ultimately, every digit usually comes down to one digit, so 1 plus 0 is 1. But the 0 actually really amplified 2017, and whilst, yes, it was a 1 year and would come from that 2016, that deep 9 year of letting go and change and really wanting to move forward and completely change our lives, to let go of all the old stuff. And I feel that, people thought, 2017 is going to be amazing and so light and all of this sort of stuff, which so many people go into every year with these expectations. And I'm going to tell you why I don't in a moment. But 2017 on a universal scale wanted us to really shift those things. So for some, 2017 has actually been even more difficult and painful than 2016, because 2017 is the beginning of a brand new 9-year cycle. So we numerologically go in 9-year cycles. So when we're adding up the numerology of the year, and you can also do your birth date as well to know what personal year you're in, and that is extremely helpful. I've been doing that for many, many, many years, and it's a very good tool to access. So 2017 is this 1 year, okay, amplified by the 0 because it equals 10. So what the universe has really asked of us is to go really deep, and to the bottom of the barrel for any old last remnants of crap, to let them go. Because what's happening at the moment, especially December, the last month of this year, but what's happening in 2017 was that we are starting to plant our seeds, starting again to lay this foundation bed of what we want to grow and who we want to become and what we want to do and what we want to achieve and who we want to be and all of these delicious things that I love doing, and I hope that you do too. So 2017 has been around that. So there has still been a pulling of old beliefs. We've got to look at it like a flower bed, and there's weeds that grow in the flower bed, and, there's poison sometimes there, there's things that don't work. And ultimately what we need to do is we need to go through and rid ourselves of those things. And that's why 2017 was intense, really intense, but awesome, because we move into 2018, which is actually 11 year, I'm calling this year a master number gateway year, because 11 is a master number. Now, I hope that your 2017 unfolded as it was meant to, as life always does. However, I hope that you really engaged in your life. I hope that you really felt into who you were and had courage and was sovereign and come back home. And it's never too late, obviously, ever, because every single day is a new opportunity. 2017 is the concrete slab of the home that we are going to build, the etheric, energetic being that we are going to grow into over these next 9 years. And the universe is fully, divinely, as it always is, orchestrating everything perfectly. So I hope that 2017 really showed you truth around yourself, around others. You know, hopefully you made those big decisions to leave things that were no longer serving you, that maybe have been comfortable for many, many, many years, but it is time to move on. So I hope and encourage that you have done those things. And of course, again, you can do it whenever you want. But that's why I love numerology, because when you know what energy the universe is supporting you with, then you can make those changes aptly. So, and with knowledge and awareness. So this 1 year of 2017 has really guided us to go, what seeds are you going to plant for your next lot of fruition when the 8th year comes around in 8 more years? So I hope that it has been amazing. So let me get on with this 2018 overview. Now, everyone knows that I will tangent and I've got a million notes, and this is how I deliver information. It's how I receive it. It's how I write it. You should see my notes. I try and be so methodical and practical around the way I write my notes. So I hope you enjoy the ride. That's what I can say. Yeah, I hope you enjoy this ride. There is a really flowing energy today. So it's totally in alignment for me to do this for you today. And I'm excited. I'm so excited. There is lots of juiciness next year. Oh my God. Well, we're in for a very big shift and big transformation on a collective, global, and individual level, especially over the next 5 years. Now, I have a little vlog thing that I want to watch from another astrologer that I follow, the Leo King, and he's actually talking about the next through until 2020, I think, or the next 5 years. And he's mentioned that there are going to be astrological alignments that haven't actually happened for like 70 years. So, oh no, 700 years. That's right. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Whew. Whoa, crazy. Yeah, so much change, and I want to give you some tools to navigate your 2018, okay? I want to give you some love, some advice, some cheerleading, some truth bombs, some joy bombs, some love bombs, and some Tiarnie bombs, you know? This is all stuff that I've been working with for many moons. You know, astrology, I'm an intuitive astrologer, and I love talking all things astrology, and astrology was my biggest go-to since I've been 9. And I, for some reason, have to keep touching this screen. This isn't my computer, it's my daughter's, because it has a better picture, and I wanted this to be really clear for everyone to see for 2018. So I just have to keep I don't know. It's a Mac. It's an Apple thing. I don't have that. So anyway. So, yes, it's going to be massive. Massive stuff, okay? Huge stuff. So I want to start with sharing, or taking a deep breath. That's what I want to do. Okay, let's all just drop in. These are all tools that I use. These are all tools that I share. These are all things that I've been interested in since for as long as I can remember. When I was 9, I would say, you're a Leo, I'm a Taurus, we'll never get married, Chris Bedford. Okay, if you know Chris Bedford, we were going out in year 5, okay? And I told him we would never get married because he's a Leo and I'm a Taurus. Okay, so that was me in year 5. Yeah, so I was 9. And forever. I meet people, I meet their animals. When were they born? I need to know. And usually now, because I've been doing that for such a long time, I can pretty much pick what sign you are, or your ascendant, or your moon, because they are that is the qualities that you deliver every single day, and I can feel that because I feel astrology. So I never call myself a professional astrologer because I'm totally not. I don't have a degree or I've self-studied astrology. I feel astrology, so I'm not a professional astrologer. I'm a passionate astrologer. And I just feel it. It just runs through me like electricity. I love it, and I can spend/waste many hours talking about it in groups online. It's crazy. But it's not, because it's life and it's amazing. But what I want to start with is, so if you've got pen and paper, this is your time. Grab a cup of tea or some water or whatever, or a champagne, whatever you want. This is time to celebrate. So we're going to get in for the long haul here. I mean, I'm already 10 minutes in and I've really just given you an intro, and for some reason that thing's going to ding. Again, not my computer. I apologize. It may get edited out. I'm not sure. Okay. So the thing is, You are the common denominator of your life. From December 31 to January 1, every single year, there's this expectation that things will change, that things will always be better. And it's baffling to me because you are the key to your life. How can a year, a year doesn't make you, you make the year. The year that's been wasn't because it was 2017, it was because of you. So you are actually the creator of your own life. You are responsible, you are the creator, you are the divine master, okay? My foundation is all about self, know thyself, master thyself, and you master the universe. When you know yourself, when you understand all of the energies and understand everything that's going on, then you master yourself, then you get that, and then you know how to interact with life. You know how to co-create with consciousness, with the universe, everything is divinely orchestrated, okay? So it's always quite baffling to me, like I said, when people go, oh, next year's going to be the year, I'm going to be the big year, I just know it. Well, this year could have been that, and last year, and 10 years ago, and 10 years from now. I find that usually if you are expecting the next year to be better and all of these things, it could actually possibly turn out to be harder. One of my quotes that I love the most is expect nothing, appreciate everything. I think that was from Papa G or something. And the thing is that we make our year. The year doesn't make us. So please know that from December the 31st to January 1, nothing's changed with the calendar, okay? Numerologically, absolutely. Everything's changed numerologically. And we move into a different vibration, of course. But only you can make the changes. You are the key to your own life. You are the common denominator in everything that happens in your life. So I share these tools with love and my heart and hope that they inspire you and encourage you to know who you are on a deeper level, and then, and then share that and move into the glory of self. I've been living like this for nearly 20 years, and of course there's fine-tuning all the time. Of course, we're human. But the thing is that understanding who you are and understanding the energies. And that's why I love talking about the few things that I'm going to talk about today, which are numerology. When I do the overview, I always talk about the Chinese astrology because that plays such a big role in our lives. And the Chinese actually, they celebrate for weeks around their new year. And yeah, they're very, they've got a lot of connection to that. And so do I. To me personally, once the Chinese New Year clicks in for me, in February, that's usually when I feel really like, okay, I'm ready to get into this year. January 1st, I'm sort of like, I don't have that sort of connection, but that's just me personally. So I also share some major astrology overviews and things like that for you to tap into. And I channel 3 crystals through every single year. And they're crystals that you can read in a normal crystal book, but they sort of come through more on the liquid crystal phase, the liquid crystal way. I'm an advanced liquid crystal practitioner, but I just love the liquid crystals. Again, your name is done in numerology. It has deep Atlantean roots, and it's just juicy, delicious information. That's just another key to who you are. So all of these things that I share, again, they're just encouragers and reminders of how amazing you are, especially, if it was like a personal chart or something like that. But it's the universal sort of chart, it's sharing what's going to happen over the year. And this is just an outline, like this is an overview. It's not absolutely every single conjunction and aspect and every single thing in astrology, because that would be forever. And there's some wonderful magazines like the 2018 Astrology magazine that Kelly Surtees is the editor of. I'm friends with her on Facebook and I love her work, and I learn off astrologers constantly. So there's so many other tools out there and other ports of call. So please, you can get a lot of further reading as well. This is an overview because, we're going to probably be here for at least another half an hour sharing this, if not just a little bit more, because I'm going a little deeper than I usually do. So like I said, let's start it off that you're the common denominator, and 2018 will be at whatever you make it, okay? Whatever you make it, that's what it will be. These things here are just encouragers. They're just reminders of, oh, that's happening. Oh, this is the energy. Oh, you know, what can I do with this? Isn't this juicy and delicious and divine? And, oh, that was hard, but that's okay because I'm through it now. You know, it's all moving. It's all flowing. It's all ever knowing, you know? Connect in. Take what you need from this. Disregard the rest. Just feel with your heart. Whatever rings true, that's awesome. And if not, that's cool too, you know? Like I always say to people, like, if you dig me, sweet. If you don't, that's sweet too. You know, that's completely okay. There's people I dig and there's certainly people I don't dig. And that's all cool because we're all on our own paths. So 2018 has a real powerful, potent feel around it. And astrologically, and even in the Chinese New Year, the Chinese year, it's earth, okay? So there's a lot of earth energy, and I'm going to talk through everything. So it's really deep, it's grounded, it's rooted in responsibility, taking ownership. It's also rooted in this real way that the truth will come out. There's going to be a lot of veils coming off, and they have been for the past few years, but even more so now that we move into a lot more earth energy over the next couple of years. So it's about truth, you know, it's about grounded, tangible, what you can feel truth. And I'm a very pragmatic person, so all of this stuff for me is practical. So yes, I can, you know, go off and tell you many stories about aliens and so on and so forth. However, that's my experience, and that's, you know, that's my experience, that's my world, and, you know, my little galactic travels. However, you know, and you do get information from that, but we're humans on the earth, and practically we need to be able to integrate this stuff and not let it be all this like, oh, I'm speaking light language. Well, I'll just speak in English so that you can understand everything that's coming through, yeah? Because that's all encompassing, isn't it? You know, I don't need to have these weird modalities and make stuff up to go, oh, level 1, 2, 3, you know, be this, be that. How about just be you? Get to know who you are, master yourself, and then everything else falls into place. You know, there's no searching. You can call off that search to find who you are and let someone, and put that energy and money and soul, giving it to someone else for someone else to tell you what you are, or to speak to you in another language of what you are and a message that's come through. How about just, you know, how about silence? I think silence is a very good teacher. Silence speaks volumes, actually, volumes. So that is my whole foundation, is you don't need all these certificates and all this stuff that people are making up. I'm a teacher of the ocean water. Well, okay, that's what? Really? Okay, you're going to give me a leaf reading. Oh, okay, then a leaf reading. You know, these are things now. People are attaching onto this thing, and you know, I suppose this is really raw for me at the moment because, you know, it's so, I'm just stepping back from, I mean, I'm always an island within this spiritual community anyway, but just there's so much more coming up because there has to be this illusion of what's not actually real, so you can see and feel what is real and authentic. And I'm telling you right now, there's no course that can, you know, that's realer than this. There's no psychic. I've never seen a psychic, because how could they know me better than I know me? I'll go to my chart, you know, I'll look at where Saturn is, I'll understand. That's how I will understand and navigate, you know. And of course we sometimes need space to be held for us, and, you know, a drumming or a juicy crystal healing, and that's beautiful, but that's maybe a couple of times a year, you know. Like, it's not something that, you know, searching and seeking for scraps of fulfillment. Tell me what to do, tell me who to be, tell me if you want me to do this course or not, just do it. Be who you are. Stop looking for validation, okay? And the reason I'm sharing this is because next year, the year after that, and even the year after that, woohoo! You are going to see a lot of that and a lot of not that. You are going to see a lot of that, and it's going to feel spiky, and then you're going to really connect into you, if that's your journey, if that's what path you decide to take, and understand on the core level of you, okay? And these, especially the astrology, is going to amplify all of this, okay? So let's talk numerology first. And there was one of my little tangents, my little passion paths, I call them. You know, I go on a little passion path. So let's talk about the numerology, which I've already said is a master number gate year. It is 11. So I'm loving that, you know, and we would have already passed like 11:11 while I was talking, and I was just like, oh, my heart. So this year, just a few words that I've pointed out. So for me, I can talk forever, I get that. But I'm also very clear when it comes to this sort of work, like on my vision board, it's words for me. I don't have these fake pictures of weird people from Women's Day cut out. I want to look like her, I want to be like that. No, I have clear, concise words. So with laser sharp intention, a word can change everything, you know, and there is power behind words. They're black magic or white magic. They heal or they harm. So one of my other teachers, Justin, the liquid crystal guy, you know, he talks about healing and shift and transformation can happen in a moment. It doesn't have to happen 3 hours of channeling. It can actually happen in a split second, you know, because once we start talking too much, cue Tiarnie, our perception, everything becomes tainted. So in a lot of my overview, it's a lot of just words. I will then elaborate, of course, but for me, it's clear, concise words around what's happening for the year. I know you're all going, well, just get on with it. I know, I'm sorry. I'm just excited. Okay, so my words for the Master Number Gateway year are gateway. It is a gateway. We're going to be walking through gateways. Vortex, amplified energy, powerful manifestation. Woo! Powerful. What you think can manifest very quickly, yeah? It's a universal yes. So remember, the universe is always saying yes, always. So if you say I don't have enough money, the universe goes yes. You know, if you feel that you don't have enough money, the universe says yes, because we can say whatever, but the universe feels us. So if you feel abundant and you feel fulfilled, you get more of that. You know, the universe is constantly responding to how you feel. And my beautiful, rest in peace, Wayne Dyer, spiritual father, said, you don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. So whatever you are vibrating to is exactly what you are attracting. So it is a big universal yes year. It's potent. It is very attuned psychically. I've written attune, align, and design. So we're going to attune, we're going to align, and then we're going to design from that. Okay, and the Capricorn stuff that I'm going to be sharing, that's all about that too. We're restructuring our lives. Okay, it's about standing on your own 2 feet. Now I look at 2 ones side by side. You know, we're walking, you know, Ram Dass says it, you know, we're all just walking each other home, guys. Like, that's all we're doing. Thank you, Ram Dass. We are all just walking each other home. And I see the 2 ones as just me and you. And we're walking side by side. It's not me up here and you back here or the other way around. We're just side by side. We are all of a tree and we're all branches of that tree. You know, we're not a drop in the ocean. We are the ocean. You know, we are the entirety of it. So I love that the 2 ones symbolize that. They symbolize standing on your own 2 feet, being an individual, owning who you are, really needing to separate yourself from other people's ideas. And this is peppered through the entire year's energy, I'm telling you. Separating yourself from who you think you are to who you know you are, from that person's idea of you, from that person's opinion of you, from that person's judgment, from what they're doing over there. Less looky over there, more looky in here, yeah? So that is the one energy, you know, the one is you. Be sovereign to you. You know, the 2 ones, they're not connected. They're not touching. They're not enwrapped with each other. They're 2 ones. They're a gateway. They're a doorway. And there's going to be openings for us next year, big ones. You know, but you must release any codependency that you have on anyone. You know, and this is so true in relationships, especially, you know, me and my husband have made, I don't need my husband. I want him every single day. I want him again and again and again. I don't need him. And I would not want him to need me. Ooh, like, no, not that energy. So next year, there is this real pull of pulling away, you know, pulling away and being the individual that you are. The 2 ones also equal 2, obviously. 1 + 1 is 2. So that's 2 is a really beautiful energy. It's a real balancing energy. It's a real harmonious energy. And it's actually a partnership energy as well. So working together, working alongside someone, yeah? cooperation, collaboration, come together, be sovereign to you, but, join high, accept, love, no more segregation, yeah? 2 is very much about strengthening your intuition as well. So meditation and developing a meditation, if you haven't already got one, will be really heightened for you next year. It's just very gentle and balancing. So the overall 2 year, when we're looking at our flower bed, we planted the seeds in 2017. Now we're tending them. So it's a gentle year, okay? So whilst I feel it's very potent though, but there is a gentleness around you and around us that we're being held in. So the energy of 2 is we're nurturing the seeds. You don't go and scream at the seeds, grow, or you get angry at them. So there has to be mindfulness about tending this garden that you're wishing to grow, which is yourself, which is your intentions, your goals, your dreams, your visions, your life. Tending all of those things with gentleness, with love. So let love lead next year. Let love be the answer. Let love just fill you and light you, Nurture those seeds, water them, love them, tend to your relationships, tend to your friendships, tend to yourself, tend to your children. It's a year of tending, tender, loving care as well. So overall, just, the numerology is that in a nutshell. And it's also, I've just written that it's a time to get serious, practical and grounded. I feel a real anchoring next year. And we have the Earth Dog in Chinese astrology, which I'm just about to go into, and Saturn in Capricorn for next year. So again, there's this Earth energy. Now, the Chinese New Year, it always starts on a new moon, and it just happens to be that this new moon that it starts on is a solar eclipse. Kapow! How exciting. A solar eclipse in Aquarius. Excuse me. So, Friday, which is Love Day, February the 16th, just a couple of days after Valentine's Day, is the Chinese New Year. This is also a solar eclipse. We are in eclipse season from January. Actually, yes, January here. Yep. So in eclipse season from January. Straight away. Just that's how this year is going to start. Shake-ups, eclipses shake us up. They change things. It's like, I read a really amazing analogy somewhere around in one of the millions of books or websites or whatever I read on, but it was like the eclipses, they said that it's like God picks you up from where you are and puts you where you need to be. Now, that can be chaotic, okay? And considering this eclipse in the same day as the Chinese New Year is in Aquarius, it's going to be quite a revolutionary change, we have Aquarian eclipses next year too, so there is a lot of change, and we did this year as well. So the Chinese New Year is the Yang Earth Dog. So the next dog year won't be until 2030. So it's a really exciting time. And of course, because everything's so perfect, and there's no such thing as a coincidence. Everyone knows that by now, don't they? Hey, because we know that coincidence in the dictionary means 2 things that fit perfectly together. So that's why it's not a coincidence. That's why it's not just like weird or unreal. It's like actually real, like it's truth, yeah? So the dog is actually the 11th sign of the Chinese zodiac. So of course we're 11 and 11. Like it all just matches up so amazingly. The 11th sign actually is a symbol of intelligence and protection. Now, again, here's some key words for you. The dog year is a very responsible year. It's a very wise year, serious, communicative, very stable, compassionate, generous, faithful, affectionate, and sympathetic. It matches so perfectly with Saturn moving into Capricorn, which actually happens in December of 2017. But yeah, which now is going to be us for the next couple of years. So it's amazing at how, again, just synchronicity, divine perfection. So glorious. So I look at the dog itself and like how unconditionally loving a dog. They're loyal. They are excited to see you. This is an excited year. It's just like come February 16th, there's this dog here, this Yang Earth dog, like waiting barking for you to open the door to your 2018. Like, that is what it is doing. And the dog will keep coming to you and licking you and excited to see you. 2018 has so much excitement. And if you're heavy earth-based like me in your chart, it just feels like home, like a lot of earth happening next year and over the next couple of years. So it just feels really good to me, and I'm excited, like you can't tell. So the dog energy is loyal, it's kind, it's sincere, it's forgiving, it's honest. It has a sense of duty, and like I said, it's unconditionally loving. It's also easily hurt and can be blindsided by other people because a dog is way too trusting, yeah? But guess what dogs continually do? Forgive. They forgive and forgive and forgive. You know, we know sometimes how horrible some people treat dogs, but guess what? The dog will go up to that person and then loyally love it, you know, love that person again and wait for them at the door. So I actually want to take note here that, and really put a little bit of emphasis on, you know, I wrote it in big caps lock on my page. This is the year to let it go. Decide to get over it. Choose to get over it. Maybe you need to forgive. Maybe you need to ask for forgiveness. Whatever it is, maybe you need to apologize. But there is a real energy with the dog of forgiveness. There is a real energy with the dog with, again, being too naive and being too trusting. So, you know, be aware, stay aware in 2018. But I just feel that, especially with the Chiron that I'm going to be talking to you about, next year has this real energy from the Chinese New Year, from February 16th through till February 2019 as well. So the 4th of February 2019 is when we move into the next Chinese astrology. So, you know, there's a real energy of really letting stuff go. You know, I feel like, you know, it's like a dog with a bone. You know, I've had this issue with this person or this unforgiveness, or, you know, you don't have to forgive, but if you're a dog with the bone, obviously there's still stuff there, you know. So energetically, on a really deep healing level, we have, you know, a grand opportunity next year in this beautiful dog energy to forgive and to be forgiven, you know, to apologize, to let it go. There is a real fresh, brand new energy around next year for me as well. Even though it's an 11-2 and this year was the 1, but I do feel that, yeah, there's something very fresh and very electric and very high. Yeah, a real high, highly attuned stuff coming through that, yeah, I'm looking forward to the mystery of it all. I don't have to name it, I just can feel it. It doesn't need a name. So the earth dog is the most practical. So yeah, so you know, don't be that dog with a bone next year. If you've got many bones that you're ripping onto, it's a real harmonious year to actually release those. So the earth dog is the most practical, sensible, and serious. So again, we've got this real energy of practicality around 2018. Practical goals can be achieved, and this is, you know, a really good year to define your career or your business. I have this feel like it's a now or never thing. Like it's been like a few things here and there, but it's sort of like, it's not now or never, because I never say never, and it's never too late. But there's a real heightened support next year, yeah, to really go there, to have courage and to go there. I wrote the stars are supporting you. So relationships will strengthen. So again, it feels like the 1-1, you know, there's this tribehood, there's sisterhood, brotherhood, you know, humanity coming together as one, you know. So lots of marriages and births, which has also happened in this rooster year as well. It's a year of change in all areas, lots of positive change too, and a change around more sort of the way we live our lives, yeah? So the way that we do things. Maybe you aren't a morning person, but you become a morning person. Maybe you procrastinate and then you choose not to. Maybe you don't have a routine, but you begin to have one. Maybe you have a routine and you begin not to. See, there's a bit of a changeable energy there that you're going to ground and anchor in so that you can change. See that? So there's this real practical energy, but there's this dog is urging change. And I look at dogs, like they just do whatever and go with the flow. And, you know, so I feel like that's a really positive thing for so many. So dogs will also do anything and everything for someone they think is important. So again, I feel like that real sort of so separateness but togetherness, you know, this 1-1 energy. So there is also an openness, a tolerance, and innovation will be at a real high next year as well. So firstly, we start. So I'm gonna chat a little bit about a few things that are all the astro things that I really love and that I work with. The overview of them. So the first one is the first new moon of the year, which is on January the 17th. It's in Capricorn. This is a setup of the year, and like I said, I love the second new moon of the year because it's the Chinese New Year, and it feels like a shift in gear, so to speak. It feels like we sort of shift up, like we go from gear 2 to gear 3. So January, it's sort of like we're just settling in, and we're starting January with a full moon, so there's release sort of straight away, and it's in Cancer. It's all about home and family and sort of attachment, so there's this real releasing that can happen early January. So this first new moon of the new year, though, of 2018, is in Capricorn, but there's also like 5 or 6 other planets in Capricorn. So for me, that's actually perfect, because what it's showing us is that yes, the first new moon of the year is in Capricorn. Saturn moves into his home sign of Capricorn. This is all about success and responsibility and grounding and stable and foundation and work. So to have all these other planets in Capricorn as well supporting this new moon, what do you want to anchor in? What do you want to earth? What do you want to come to fruition? Like, this is your time, this first new moon of 2018, to really go there, to really be real and ask yourself, what is it you want to grow this year? Now, we have eclipse season in January and February, and then July through to August, okay? So January 31st to February 1st is the total lunar eclipse. It's actually visible. We can see it here in Brisbane. So that's very exciting. And this actually conjuncts the North Node. So there's a real letting go of the old to embrace like who you want to be. Like, Leo is about self, individuality, leadership, stepping up, not going with the crowd, being who you are and enjoying that. And that's what our eclipses are around this in 2018. Leo and Aquarius eclipses. So releasing the collective and the need for approval and being a part of a group per se, not, like a community sort of thing, like attaching to ideas and everyone else's stuff. Not that Aquarians do that, but it's more of a collective, humanitarian, and single. So Leo is self and Aquarius is humanitarian. So more in that way, yeah? So, yeah, this total lunar eclipse that we get to see, so it's completely full. I think it is February the 1st, but it's like midnight or 1 a.m. or something like that. So it's sort of going from January 31st to February 1st, which is pretty cool. Then on February 16th, Chinese New Year. I'm just going to run through these and because, yeah, I'll be here for another 2 hours. And, yeah, you probably have stuff to do. So we have, January and February is first lot of eclipse season. Then July the 13th, we have a solar eclipse. July the 28th is a lunar eclipse. Now, this lunar eclipse is a very karmic lunar eclipse because it is conjunct the South Node. So the first one was conjunct the North Node, self, what you're here to do, your destiny, your purpose. We all have North Node and South Node in our charts. And the South Node is our past, okay? So the lunar eclipse being in Aquarius is conjuncting the South Node, so very close to the South Node. And that is a real true, again, very similar to what we've already been speaking about with the dog and letting go. It's about letting go of the past lives, that we're all living anyway if you love quantum physics like me. Every life is being lived simultaneously. But letting go of the hooks that you maybe have around your past life stuff. I did this and that's why I can't do this now because of my past life. No, that's old. That's old beliefs. That's not true. That is not true. So if you feel like you do have these hooks into a past life that keeps you stuck there, that keeps you like, oh, in this life this won't happen for me because in a past life, blah, blah, blah. No, let it go. Let it go. It's actually bullshit because you're new every single day and your whole physical body regenerates in 1 year. Everything, our liver, our eyes, our skin, like, you are new and whole. So use that eclipse. If you're still there, if you're still going there with the stories, the old stories, it's time to let them go. Yeah, it's very, very karmic full moon. It's actually, and it's an eclipse, so it's like, ooh, it's a lunar eclipse. And then we have the solar eclipse in the Leo again, our second one in Leo, our second eclipse in Leo for the year, and that's on August the 11th. So this is a real future moving forward. Who are you? Who do you want to become? Like really owning it, because hopefully you feel fresh after 2 weeks prior giving up the old stuff, so you can move and embrace into this new you and who you are really on a soul level. Eclipses will always, like I said earlier, shake us up, shift things. They want what's best for us, and they're going to move things, you know. I lost a job after 8 years in an eclipse period. So it's the universe picking you up and putting you where you need to be, and that's going to cause disruption. Eclipses amplify the energy, so be mindful around eclipse season, you know, watch your temper, you know, be mindful driving, you know, the energy is amplified, okay? So eclipse season is Jan, Feb, and, you know, it sort of goes on either side of that, but you've got that eclipse sandwich from the first eclipse to the next eclipse. We're in an eclipse sandwich. So we have the lunar and then the solar, and in between those 2 weeks, everything's intense, yeah? Even more so. It's heightened, okay? But it's also an amazing chance to dive in and do work and flow and see what unfolds. I love eclipse season. Even when I am losing jobs, it's completely fine. It's completely perfect. I always know that I am provided for and everything's going to be okay. So that's the eclipse. Now, really cool, we actually have a blue moon on March the 31st in Libra. So I'm not going to talk too much about it, but ultimately for me, a blue moon is actually 2 full moons in 1 month, 1 calendar month. And yeah, it's really exciting. I say do something different on a blue moon. Maybe go and watch that blue moon rise. You know, of course it's not blue, but it's sort of, because it's once in a blue moon, we only have them every couple of years. I just say do something different. You know, do something a bit out of the ordinary, something you wouldn't usually do. Maybe you don't go and watch the moon rise over the beach. Maybe do it. You know, connect into that blue moon energy, because at the end of the day, it still is just another full moon. And I say that with love. I love Grandmother Moon. But it's a blue moon, so we don't have 2 in 1 month often, so utilize that. Now, Mercury retrograde, of course, it happens every year, so we've got March through till April is our first one, July through till August, November through till December, and now they're all in fire signs, which I'm just like blown away. So the first one's in Aries, the second one's in Leo, and then the third one's in Sag, but it does move back into Scorpio a little bit before coming back into Sag. Now, that for me is, you know, everyone gets really upset around Mercury retrograde, all these bad things. It's not, again, you're in control of your life. It's just about awareness and being mindful of what's going on, yeah? I better do some of this. It's all about just being aware, yeah, you know, double checking things when it's Mercury retrograde. Maybe not booking your, you know, make sure that you're checking your booking if you're going overseas or whatever that is. Just double check things, you know. But all being in fire is really interesting, because Mercury, the planet of communication in a fire sign, can be a little bit like abrupt and say stuff out of turn, you know. So whether you're not naturally like that and the Mercury retrogrades bring that out in you, you might just tell someone how you feel and you've never really done that before. So you know, be mindful if you are already like that. You either might repress or be more like that. I don't know. I just thought that it was really cool that they were all in fire signs. There's a real expansion. There's a real, it's all ideas but yeah, just watch how you communicate in those Mercury retrogrades. Now, a little rarey sort of thing that's happening next year is Venus and Mars are both going retrograde in the same year. Now, this doesn't usually happen from my knowledge. I'm not perfect, but from my knowledge, they're usually every sort of 18 months to 2 years from memory, and it often is the sort of off one, like each one is separately. But next year, no. Okay, so firstly, we have the Mars retrograde, which is to the end of June until late August. Now, Mars is that planet of action and fire and war and aggression, but passion as well, yeah? So Mars retrograding, just again, a couple of key words here, is it means that you might feel internalized pressure, okay? It means that you might internalize things, and it might be a bit pressure cookery. You know, Mars retro, oh, it's raining. Mars retro can, you know, bring up a little bit of stuff for some people. It can be a little bit repressed, but it's all for the good. You know, Mars retrograde is actually asking us to reassess the direction in which we're going, the actions in which we are taking, the reactions in which we have to life. So it's actually, the internal stuff doesn't have to be negative. It can just be about reassessing the way that you move through your life and take action or you don't take action, react or don't react, yeah? So where is your passion? You know, I have written here, reassess your direction, reassess your actions and the way you take them, and reassess your passions. And the question that came to me about that, reassessing your passions, now this is at the end of June through to late August, reassess your passions is, are they yours? Are your passions or are they society's passions? Are you, headstanding yoga on the beach in your bikini because that's what you want to do, or is it because that's for your Instagram account and it looks good? Are you really passionate about, accounting, or are you not passionate about accounting? So, but it's because your parents are. It can go in any field. It doesn't have to just be yoga or spiritual stuff. But are they your passions? Okay, so that's a really big question that came through. I'm like, yeah, is it your passion? What are you passionate about? And begin again, like the 1-1, to separate from what other people expect or from what society thinks you should do or what you think you should do to get approval or be accepted, So while Mars is in retrograde, it might be a time to look at maybe new plans or new actions or new projects, new ways that you're going to move forward. And then once Mars moves forward again in August, then you can start, then it will start flowing again. So if you feel a little bit stagnant from June to August, which doesn't have to happen, but just be mindful of that Mars is in retrograde. So you might more be doing some internal planting of seeds and they're not all coming to fruition straight away. Just wait and just be patient, yeah? Just be patient. You want to develop a Rolls Royce, not a Toyota Corolla. Good things take time, darlings. Good things take time. Mars is also in the sign of Aquarius. So for me, I love that. I hadn't seen I'd read a chart the other day with Mars in Aquarius. I'm like, I haven't met anyone with Mars in Aquarius. It was the first Mars in Aquarius person. And it is just, I reckon it's the coolest placement for Mars to be completely honest. Mars in Aquarius is innovative and revolutionary. It's taking action to be unique and forward moving, forward thinking. I wrote revolutionary, revolution maximized and personified. It's amplified energy. It's lightning bolts. It's idea. It's action for change and movement. So you might get lots of ideas while Mars is in Aquarius. And Mars is in Aquarius for quite some time because he gets into Aquarius and he retrogrades all the way back into a bit of Capricorn before he goes all the way back again. So he's spending quite a lot of time. So there's a real energy of innovation, like the dog here, innovation and revolution and change, changing the way you do things. See how that is happening? We talked with the dog, and now Mars in Aquarius is changing the way you do things, not doing the same old. Being uncomfortable is where it's at sometimes. Comfortability keeps you stuck. So Venus retrograde. Venus retrograde is from October the 5th until November the 16th, and Venus starts moving forward again November the 16th. I'm trying to go quick here, but I shouldn't. It's okay. I'm going to get everything done. I always do that. I get a bit rushy. It's my Mercury Gemini. I do it all the time. So Venus starts moving forward again November the 16th, and it's the same day as Mercury goes backwards. One of the last Mercury retrograde. So it's just all like, oh, it's lots of fun. Venus will be in Scorpio and Libra. So you've got to remember Jupiter is in Scorpio next year. So this Venus retrograde for me and what I'm feeling for everyone is that firstly, when Venus is in retrograde, it's pretty much about reassessing who and what you value, yeah? So Venus is the planet of love and harmony and values, self-values, what you put value in of others, the way, what are your core values? I think that it comes down to, what are your actual core values moving forward in life? So Jupiter being in Scorpio and Venus being in Scorpio retrograde is asking you to go deep. Maybe you don't have any core values, or you've never gone there and spoken about them or shared them with your husband or partner. Like, do you both share the same core values, and have a look at them. Maybe they need reassessing. It is Venus in retrograde. It is about reassess, redefining, it's about change. So Venus is asking you to look around and look at who you're valuing in your life, how you value yourself, how you self-care. And And Scorpio, as Venus, as she retrogrades first, she'll be in Scorpio. So I think that that's beautiful. And Jupiter's there as well. So again, we're diving deep. It's like we're digging deep for answers. We're going to the bottom of the buried treasure box. And then she moves back into Libra before moving forward again in November. But that's all about relationships, you know. Libra is relationships. So Venus is at home in Libra. So that's going to be a very poignant moment for you to be looking at your relationships, especially your close ones, yeah? So that might bring up, some yucky shit for some people, in their relationships. If you're truly not happy in your marriage or in your relationship, Venus retrograde in Libra might trigger some stuff for you, It really might, because, I don't know, I've always said to people, I'd rather be by myself and happy than with someone and unhappy, We're the most important project we can work on, and I've said this time and time again about my marriage with my husband. We've been together for nearly 17 years, and the best thing I can do for him is work on me, and the best thing he can do for me is work on him. So maybe that can be a mantra for you while Venus is retrograde in Libra. So that is October the 5th through till November the 16th. Now, Jupiter, I'm going to just sort of go over these little generally sort of ones before I have a talk about another couple of big things, and then I'm going to pop over the 3 crystals that I've channeled through to support us that we can work with, whether physically we've got those crystals, or you can definitely see a liquid crystal practitioner, whether that's me or someone else. I really don't mind. You can go on the website and order them there. So those liquid crystals are going to be really supporting and helping us and holding us through 2018, yeah? So Jupiter in Scorpio, which has already happened, that move was a couple of months ago. So ultimately, Jupiter expands whatever it touches. Jupiter is all about luck, your higher mind. It's all about gifts that are bestowed. It's about openness. It's happy. It's expanding your consciousness. It's about your belief systems. It's about optimism. It's about growth and glory, and being in Scorpio until November of 2018, it is all about psychological work on the inner, yeah? Scorpio is, sex and the underworld and rebirth, and Jupiter in Scorpio is asking us to look at anything that's deep-seated or denied, Anything dark will be revealed, I just say detach from drama. Scorpio's the detective. I've got all these D words, deep-seated, denied, dark, death, detective, drama, detach. I've written you deconstruct to reconstruct. And now Saturn and Cap, which I'm going into, that's very much, again, we crumble to rebuild. That's what we do, yeah? And that this energy astrologically is going to be like this heavy until about 2020. And they're on forever, but, amplified more, yeah? So this is a very transformational time for us with Jupiter and Scorpio as well. It's a very transcending time. Again, it's about letting the unconscious become conscious. So if you are a repressed and you deny a lot of aspects of yourself, especially the parts that you don't like about yourself, hence the reason I love astrology, because it teaches us all that. And as soon as we can accept that, everything doesn't seem so scary anymore, yeah? It's about accepting your shadow and your light. It's about knowing every nook and cranny of who you are. And Jupiter and Scorpio, if you go there and just let him have his way with you, you will come out of Jupiter and Scorpio season a completely different person. It's like a phoenix rising. Again, we are reinventing to revolutionize. Now, on a real little basic level around Scorpio energy, we have the Scorpion as the lower energy. Then we have the Scorpion rising up to be the eagle. And then we have the eagle transforming to the phoenix. So it is your call on where you want to be on that level. Just the Scorpio stinging people all the time and drama and all the Scorpio stuff. Or you can rise above and be the eagle and start to see things from a higher perspective, or then you really transcend into that phoenix, and it's a completely renewing over and over again. And remember, Jupiter expands anything he touches, so that's why Scorpio will be a very big part of next year as well. All the dark, all the hidden, all the underworld, all the veils, all the shit that people are, all their masks, all these facades. Jupiter's going, no. I've written here, truth. The truth will be revealed. And, you can try and run from the truth, but will always find you. Yeah, it will always find you. So then we have Saturn in Capricorn. Now, Saturn in Capricorn, for the first time in nearly 30 years, he's at home here, and he will be in Capricorn until 2020. So, again, there are so many articles out there that you can really dive into and read about them. So a little tip on how to navigate some of these, like Jupiter and Scorpio and Saturn in Capricorn. Like, what I encourage you to do is to know your astrology chart. Now, you can go anywhere. Astro.com is where I go to look at all my charts. Now, the thing is that you want to know what house each of these planets are going through, because that gives you a real sense and understanding of what's actually going to unfold for you. Like, what energy, where is Scorpio in your chart? And that's where Jupiter is going to be lighting up and expanding for you and bringing things to light. Where is Capricorn? That is where Saturn is going to go through and restructure and rebuild and make transformations, okay? Wherever Pluto is, Neptune is, wherever the signs are, you can see what houses. So that is a tool to even harness this stuff that I've shared with you a little more, because that is where it's all happening for you. You're born at a certain time. That's your natal chart. That's your blueprint. That's what it is. It is what it is. It doesn't lie. It's who you are. And then the planets are on top of them, on top of your chart, moving around your chart and touching and activating and aspecting. And it's what I love. It's what I love about astrology. It's just awareness. You know, knowledge is power, and awareness. And then you understand then. You just understand why you got real cranky over something that you never would. And it just happened to me because Mars in the sky now hit my Pluto in my first house in my chart, which made me go, I was just triggered by everything, you know, and someone could have said something real nice to me and I would have gone, why are you saying that? You don't mean it. And then the next day, after the next couple of days, I was like, I could take a breath again. I got it. But it's awareness, you know, awareness is the key. So that's a little tip on how to even go a little further with the astrology, okay? Now, anyway, Saturn is in Capricorn. These keywords for this: hard work, stamina, responsibility, commitment. Do you want to reach the top of that mountain and look at the view, or are you going to, you know, go into a cave and not go there? Goats want to climb mountains. They're successful. They're Capricorns, baby. They are the Capricorns. We're pretty much in Capricorn season for 2.5 years because Saturn's in Capricorn, and Saturn is a big player of our lives, yeah? What he wants to do is crumble structures, and this is what I've written: structures will crumble, especially in the spiritual, Sorry, it's going to be crazy, man. It is going to be crazy. And what Saturn wants to do is to rebuild. That's what he wants to do. Crumble it so that you can really know who you are and what you are about, and then rebuild from there. So I'm so excited about it. I can't wait. So that is what's going to happen. Now, I've just also written here, like, what does success mean to you? You know, some people have success around money, and that's cool. Like, I don't. It's just something that I don't value. Not that I don't, like, appreciate money, and I'm very grateful, but I don't hold value like, oh my God, like, I don't have money, abundance sort of things. It's just not my thing here on earth. But, you know, maybe money doesn't really define success for you either. So if it doesn't, like I've written here, redefine what success means to you. Maybe success means more time with your children. Maybe success means better sex. You know, maybe success means better friendships. Maybe success means you being courageous enough to be who you really are. Like, this Saturn in Capricorn until 2020 is like building a structure for us. It is building, I've written, create the structure and the foundation that you wish to build your life upon. Very similar to this 10-year, absolutely. But Saturn in Capricorn is just like where it's at. And Saturn moves into Capricorn in December as well. So there is this real energy of rebuilding. So let everything crumble that doesn't work. And the eclipse season will surely do that next year. Yeah, so if you have built yourself on sand, you might crumble. If you have built yourself on, you know, something that's unstable, possibly and highly predictable that over the next couple of years that will all crumble away. And now I'm saying that with my heart, with love, because that's good. Because once you take off all the shit that doesn't matter anymore, you can just be who you are. Once you stop holding on to these things of definition and success, you know, you can let that go as well and rebuild something that is more in alignment with who you are. You know, tuning and aligning to the universe of who you are. So it's a massive time. It's a massive time. Look at us getting to an hour. If you are still with me, love. So love. Some people may have tapped out, but this is juicy information, man. And, you know, it was always going to be a bit of a long one because there's a lot of change. Now, there's two really big changes happening next year, and I am going to go over them quite briefly and try not to talk too much about them, because what I'll do is I'll actually do maybe something a little separately, like once they come up next year. So I do monthly vlogs. I might change things a little bit next year. I'm not sure. Things are changing. Just things are changing. So, but ultimately I do monthly vlogs, and I will share more in depth around these two things that I'm going to share once it comes closer. But ultimately the big one, there's heaps of big changes, but one big change in May is that Uranus, the planet of chaos and revolution and, eccentricity, I love Uranus, innovation, lightning bolt ideas, you know, he rules Aquarius. So all that real, you know, forward thinking, you know, innovative sort of energy moves into Taurus, the very grounded, humble, earthbound Taurus. And I'm excited. I'm a Taurus and I've got 4 planets in Taurus. So I am so excited. Uranus hasn't been in Taurus for what? 84 years. And it will be in Taurus. He will be in Taurus until 2026. Now, this is exciting. Uranus actually moves into Taurus the exact same day that we have a new moon in Taurus, May the 15th, which is just like, oh my God. So May is huge. We're having a very big shift, you know. Uranus is going to be at 29 degrees Aries before he clicks over into 0 degrees of Taurus. So that's going to be like, you know, just in between eclipse seasons. It's going to be big. May will be a very big month. Now, this is exciting. So this is really exciting. And like I said, I will do something closer, more about this and more about Chiron as well. So I'm just going to let you know the dates, okay? So that's when Uranus moves into Taurus. I feel a lot of abrupt changes, earth changes. I've also, you know, just written, you know, there'll be changes around your rigidity and flexibility and the way you live your life. And again, we've got this really anchored in, grounded sort of sense. And Uranus and Taurus might even seem opposite, because Uranus wants change and revolution and Taurus wants stability. But I think that's right there is that juicy bit of magic. That's the sweet spot with Uranus and Taurus, is that there's just going to be a bit more flexibility and flow. And I really feel the word flow for me has been real strong, and that might be my 2018 word. I'm not sure yet, but it's quite strong. Ultimately, Uranus actually then goes retrograde in August, and he goes back into Aries. Okay, he's going to go back into Aries just to get that last bit of remnants of, you know, what was left behind, okay? And that will happen until March of 2018. So we have Uranus in Taurus from May until August. So it's only a couple of months. So we're getting like a teaser. So Uranus is sort of like teasing us, going, oh, this is what you're going to get, which will be awesome. But we're just going to go back and revisit Aries stuff first, okay? And then Uranus then starts moving forward in February of 2019. And so, yeah, we're still looking a fair way ahead, so I won't get too caught up in this, but I'm very excited about it. But, okay, so that might have all just been like a big cray-cray. So ultimately, Uranus is in Taurus, which is huge, in May. Goes retrograde in August of 2018. Moves back into Aries, got to finalise some stuff. So March of 2019 is when he actually moves back into Taurus again, where he will stay until 2026. Okay? Done. That was a thumbs up. It was down here. Here it is. Okay, we're at an hour. We are just like, we're sweet. We're on the home stretch. Chiron. This is exciting too. Again, let's just go over it. Chiron has been in Aries for, I think it's maybe 7 years. Again, don't quote me. I'm not perfect. I'm not a perfect astrologer. But this move is Chiron moving into Aries. It's been in Pisces. Excuse me. This is big. Chiron moves into Aries mid-April, but then does the same thing. In September of 2018, Chiron goes retrograde and goes back into Pisces until February 2019. So that's the thing. So we've got Uranus and Chiron showing us what's to come in 2019, where they both will stay until 2026. Now, I've got some juicy stuff to share around Chiron and Aries, and I might do it a little bit separate. No, I don't know. User go, no, just say it. Okay, I'm just going to say it. Ultimately, really briefly, it's actually, for me, Pisces is the end of the zodiac, right? Aries is the beginning. So it's like Chiron has gone through all of the signs and he hits Pisces. Now, Chiron is the wounded healer, where our wounds are. Pisces has, given us ample opportunity to heal wounds and stuff, but Pisces can get a little bit lost. Pisces energy is confusing, it's deceiving. You might think you've healed something, really, then it just comes up again. But for me, it feels like a complete end of a cycle. Well, it is. Well, it's not just what I feel, but it's a complete end of a cycle. And we move into Chiron in Aries fully in 2019 February, but we get that taste next year from April to September, yeah? So the thing is that all of a sudden, the wounds in which we create come back onto ourself. Aries is all about self. Aries is the baby of the zodiac. It's the beginning of the zodiac. So all fingers point to you. And I really like that because it can give us a whole new cycle of, okay, this is time to really let go of anything that's been holding us back, these open wounds that we keep playing in and diving into. It can really give us the chance to heal them once and for all next year. When Chiron goes back into Pisces from September through till February, you've got this big chunk, September 2018, Feb 2019. You've got a big chunk to really do that work there, because I feel once it clicks over again from Chiron, that wounded healer, who is also the maverick, who also is the alchemy of the astrology. He teaches you about yourself and how you heal, and then how you heal others. So Aries is self. I've written it's the death of the old and the transformation of you, and the transform into who you are. And you are responsible, like just you taking responsibility. It's death of the old stories, wounds, traumas, everything starts with you. That's what I've written. Okay? It's powerful. It's powerful. Now, the 3 crystals that I have channeled through to work with. Drum roll. Ruby. She is the spiritual warrior. She fights for you to fight for yourself. She gives you courage, self-trust, vitality, strength, passion, empowerment, ancient information, choices, motivation. She is direct and she is energized. She stimulates a passion for living. She helps you to face life with courage with gentleness. It is time to stand on your own 2 feet, and she will help. She's a feeling crystal, so she creates peace and she creates spiritual growth. She also wants to ask you, where is your fire? She also helps to ground the spiritual. Hello, earth, grounding, it's all here. And I channeled these crystals a little while ago, before I'd written everything out. And she also enhances your intuitive side and opens you up to higher vision, okay? Amazing crystal. The next crystal is red jasper. She is the supreme nurturer, and I feel is definitely needed in 2018. Definitely. Red jasper in the liquid crystals is the divine nurturer, and she to me feels like a big warm hug. So she's the blood of the earth, salt of the earth energy. She feels like a big hug. I wrote here. I'm writing all my keywords here so that we can finish this up. She's supportive. She helps to slow life down when things are overwhelming. So when all this change is happening, she helps to really pull back and just to be objective and to sit in it if you're feeling overwhelmed. And I highly recommend having jasper on board as your little rescue remedy next year, yeah? So you can take 3 drop doses if you're feeling overwhelmed. She'll bring you back into she helps, she slows life down to help the change be gradual, and again, the word I've written, flowing. It's all about recovery, new direction, time, family. She keeps you stable and focused. She is stabilizing. The crystal itself is stabilizing. I said she is gentle, oh so gentle. She's excessively nurturing, and she helps you to remember you. So, it's all about, she wants to nourish you. So fill your cup first, because, you can't love the rest of the world and give others stuff when you're empty. So it's about your mind being retaught to love yourself first and be there for yourself first and self-nurture and self-care so that everyone's getting your beautiful, abundant overflow, okay? I've been teaching that for 10 plus years. That is the way you can stay full, is by filling your cup, filling your heart, and then everyone gets your overflow. You're not scraping the barrel. Red jasper will help you with that. The last and final crystal is carnelian. So these are all sacral and root chakra crystals pretty much, yeah? It's all about desires and passion and roots and grounding, and they're all the same, similar colour too, which was quite interesting. Now, carnelian is all about creativity. So it's about taking positive action, and it's about personal power. It's about being empowered. It's very optimistic. It allows you to update so that you're in the now view of yourself. So if you've got old views of yourself, again, we've spoken about this, carnelian will help you update that so that you can be in the now and not be so focused on back then. Carnelian also helps you to trust in your own ability to manifest and progress in life. Carnelian will help you to let go of self-doubt, laziness, apathy, boredom, confusion. If you are lacking interest, like you're just lacking lust for life, carnelian gives you that back, baby. She helps you to stand alone as an individual. Again, so perfect with the 11. Helps you to focus, helps keep you focused, but on your realistic goals. And again, that's sort of the word. We've got this realistic, grounded. Yeah, it's juicy. She keeps you driven towards those goals and gives you the life force to see them out. A thirst for life is reborn when working with carnelian. She also assists you to take an empowering step back into life to help you to uncover what makes you happy. So, I mean, they couldn't be any more perfect. The whole common thread of the year just is, it's bellissimo. It's incredible. So, you know, when we are armed with knowledge, the whole world is ours. And I just want to say, thank you so much for being here with me. I really hope that you've got something out of that, a new idea, a new thought, a heartfelt explosion of love and joy and truth. And I'm going to get ready to shut down now. And I just want to say thank you. I'm excited, and enjoy an absolutely phenomenal 2018.